Alamin natin ang mga programa at aktibidades ng mga kinatawan sa pamumuno ni Speaker Ferdinand Martin FMR Romualdez, Kamara, House of the People. Tuwing Sabado at replays, tuwing Linggo, dito lang sa inyong favorite music radio.
Session resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to consider House Concurrent Resolution Number 26, and for this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title and text of the concurrent resolution.
Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. Consideration of House Concurrent Resolution Number 26 is now in order. The Secretary General is directed to read the title and text of the concurrent resolution.
House Concurrent Resolution Number 26. Concurrent Resolution providing for the adjournment sine die of the second regular session of the 19th Congress of the Philippines not later than 12 o'clock midnight today, Wednesday, May 22, 2024. Resolved by the House of Representatives of the Philippines, the Senate concurring that the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives be, as they hereby are, authorized to declare the second regular session of the 19th Congress of the Philippines adjourned sine die not later than 12 o'clock midnight today, Wednesday, May 22, 2024. Resolved further that a committee composed of all deputy speakers of the House of Representatives be appointed to join a committee of the Senate to inform His Excellency Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., President of the Republic of the Philippines, that the second regular session of the 19th Congress of the Philippines is about to close and that the two houses are ready to adjourn unless the President has some message or communication to transmit to them. Adopted, signed, Marcelino C. Libanan, Manuel Jose Manix M. Dalipe.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt House Concurrent Resolution Number 26.
There is a motion to adopt House Concurrent Resolution Number 26. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. House Concurrent Resolution Number 26 is adopted. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, in view of the adoption of House Concurrent Resolution Number 26, which likewise authorizes the appointment of a joint committee of both houses to inform the President of the Philippines of the adjournment of the second regular session of the 19th Congress, I move to elect all deputy speakers of the House to the said joint committee.
Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. All the deputy speakers of the House are elected to the committee to notify the President of the Philippines of the adjournment of the second regular session of the 19th Congress. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to consider House Resolution Number 1746, and for this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title and text of the resolution.
Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. Consideration of House Resolution 1746 is now in order. The Secretary General is directed to read the title and text of the resolution.
House Resolution Number 1746. Resolution declaring the Journal of the Session dated May 20 to 22, 2024 as having been read and approved. Resolved by the House of Representatives that the Speaker be authorized to review and approve the Journal of the Session dated May 20 to 22, 2024, and that the approval by the Speaker of such journal shall be valid and effective for all purposes as if it was approved directly by the House of Representatives. Adopted, signed, Marcelino C. Libanan, Manuel Jose Manix M. Dalipe.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt House Resolution number 1746.
there is a motion to adopt House Resolution 1746. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. House Resolution number 1746 is adopted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session to enable the Secretariat to transmit the messages to the Senate on the resolutions we have adopted. I so move.
session suspended. The session is resumed. The Honorable Majority Leader is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, for the information of our colleagues who have received word of the filing in the Senate of Senate Concurrent Resolution number 18, entitled Concurrent Resolution Providing for the Adjournment of the Second Regular Session of the 19th Congress of the Philippines, not later than 12 o'clock midnight today, May 22, 2024, authored by Senate Majority Leader Francis Tol N. Tolentino, which will be adopted by the Senate before they adjourn sine die today.
The remarks of the Majority Leader are duly noted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, earlier we have adopted House Concurrent Resolution number 26, providing for the adjournment of the second regular session of the 19th Congress, as well as the creation of the Joint Notification Committee. In order to give the members of the Joint Committee time to perform their assigned task, and until the House counterpart is ready to report back their accomplishments to this House, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
is there any objection? The Chair hears none. The session is suspended. The session is resumed. The Honorable Majority Leader is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, we have received a report from the Joint Committee that the President has been informed that the second regular session of the 19th Congress will adjourn tonight.
The remarks of the Majority Leader are duly noted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, the House will now consider a resolution affecting the Honorable Speaker of the House. I now ask, pursuant to parliamentary tradition, the Minority Leader be requested to proceed to the rostrum and preside over the session.
the Minority Leader, Marcelino C. Libanan, is requested to proceed to the rostrum to preside over the session. Session is suspended.
The Minority Leader, as presiding officer, would like to address this august chamber. As the second regular session of the 19th Congress draws to a conclusion, we assess our achievements for the past 2 years, even as we prepare for what more we have to do when we reopen come 22 July 2024. First and foremost, we laud the House of the People collectively for its accomplishments. In the 2 years since the inception of the 19th Congress in 2022, we have collectively passed on third and final reading 221 House bills of national significance and 522 bills of local application. This is due to the leadership of the House majority and the participation of the House minority. Beyond all that, with the leadership of Speaker Martin Romualdez, we were able to proudly report to the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council, or LEDAC, that as of the end of December 2023, the House has been able to pass the 20 priority measures identified by LEDAC. 5 of those priority measures were signed into law. The remaining 15 had already been approved by the House on third reading and final reading and transmitted to the Senate. This despite the fact that the House membership is more than 10 times that of the upper chamber. Thanks to the leadership of Speaker Martin Romualdez, the House of the 19th Congress has significantly achieved a legislative record non pariel. No amount of words can ever do justice to what he had accomplished. Had the legislature been unicameral, as originally envisioned in the draft of 1987 Constitution, all these would already be in our statute books. The traditional role of the minority is to oppose the majority. This is the legislative equivalent of the philosophical concept of dialectics, a thesis opposed by the antithesis to form a synthesis. This traditional concept works best in two-party system where the lines are drawn between competing ideologies such as the Republicans and the Democrats in the United States. But in 1987, we ratified the present Constitution, which adopted the multi-party system in Philippine Congress. This is a recognition in the basic law of diversity and about demographics and geographics, in terms of culture and language, as well as sectors in Philippine society, and as a complement to the usual representation by district. This humble representation thus prepares a new modality in seeing that the role of the minority, to my mind, my dear colleagues, the minority's role is akin to that of poetry, to view things from a different perspective, to point out what may have been inadvertently missed, to walk the path less traveled, and thereby assist in finding a more holistic resolution of the issues that beset our people and our country. Of the 22 members of the minority bloc in this House of the People, 6 are district representatives, while the remaining 16 are party list representatives. It is my pleasure and privilege to report to the body that the members of the minority bloc have been active participants in legislative work of the House. They have not only championed the causes of the respective sectors and districts, but have in fact transcended such concerns to address matters of concerns of all Filipinos and our nation by standing up on matters of privilege. Your humble members of the minority bloc have authored, both as principal authors and co-authors, House bills and resolutions, some of which have already become laws of the land. They have asked the necessary questions during debates, at both the committee level and the plenary level, and even at the bicameral committee level, mindful of the saying that we would rather ask questions that cannot be answered than to accept answers that cannot be questioned. The accomplishments of the minority bloc are too many for me to enumerate at this time. Considering the time constraints we face, I have made it a project to present to both the House and to the public a written report of all the minority bloc has done. The 19th Congress has shown that majority and minority in the House need not be in constant opposition to one another. Dialectics has its place, but it is through complementarity that we work with each other for the betterment of our people and our country. Much remains to be done. Besides the West Philippine Sea issue, there is a need to harness the full potential of our country by easing up stultifying provisions of the Constitution. We have to shape the next year's budget to meet the constantly shifting needs of Filipino nation. We have to address the root causes of seemingly unending inflation that crush our working sector. And we need to urge our counterparts in the upper chamber of Congress to act on bills we have passed and sent to them. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, it has been said that the road to progress never ends, that the legislative mill never ceases to grind, and rightly so, because perfection is always a goal, but never an end. May God bless us all. May God bless our country. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. Mr. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for consideration of House Resolution number 1747 and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the resolution.
Is there any question? Chair hears none. Consideration of the House Resolution number 1747 is in order. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the resolution.
House Resolution number 1747. Resolution commending the Honorable Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez, Speaker of the House of Representatives, for his exemplary, competent, and decisive leadership of the House of Representatives during the second regular session of the 19th Congress.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this representation will deliver the sponsorship speech on House Resolution number 1747.
The Majority Leader is hereby recognized to deliver his sponsorship speech.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I rise with utmost honor to sponsor Resolution number 1747, commending the Honorable Speaker Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez for his exemplary, competent, and decisive leadership of the House of Representatives during the second regular session of the 19th Congress. As we mark the endpoint of the two regular sessions during the 19th Congress, we find this day the most opportune moment to express our deepest gratitude and highlight the unfaltering diligence and remarkable leadership of our Honorable Speaker Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez. The Honorable Speaker triumphantly reinforced the principles and ideals of representative democracy in effectively balancing the functions of his office and sorting out the different concerns of each and every member of this august chamber. All with the end in view of echoing and actualizing the voice of our constituents, the Filipino people. Relentless in his pursuit to be attuned and in harmony with the thrust of President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.'s administration and driven by commitment to improve the lives of every Filipino, our Honorable Speaker leads us in the passage of significant laws and filing of legislative measures with the most effective social impact to our nation, especially those on the lower stratum of the population. During the first and second regular sessions of the 19th Congress, we have filed a total of 12,275 legislative measures, consisting of 10,479 House bills and 1,795 resolutions. 61 have been enacted into laws, 746 measures are pending before the Senate, and 6 national and 9 local measures are currently under consideration for approval of the President. In the face of the ever-changing geopolitical climate, and as we prepare for the groundwork of the third regular session beginning July 2024, the last leg of the 19th Congress, we will bring with us the same trust and conviction in the indefatigable leadership of the Honorable Speaker. He has been the rudder of the ship called the House of Representatives, who has successfully steered this august chamber to greater accomplishments. His focused, purpose-driven, and uncompromising leadership steered the House of Representatives to respond to the call of our constituencies and deserves our highest commendation and appreciation. I therefore call upon you to support the adoption of this resolution to show the Honorable Speaker our profound gratitude and heartfelt appreciation for his grit, competence, integrity, and dedication as our leader during the second regular session of the 19th Congress. Thank you. Mabuhay si Speaker Romualdez. Mabuhay ang 19th Congress. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number
Mr. Speaker,
Please proceed, Majority Leader.
I move to adopt House Resolution number 1747.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 1747. Is there any objection? The Chair hears none. Motion is hereby approved. The Chair requests all Deputy Speakers to escort Speaker Romualdez to the session hall to address the body. Session is suspended.
Session resumed. The Chair will now address the body. Honorable Deputy Speakers, Majority Leader, Minority Leader, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. As we draw the curtain on the second regular session of the 19th Congress, I stand before you with a profound sense of pride and accomplishment. Today, we celebrate a milestone, the 100% approval of all priority measures set forth in the State of the Nation address of His Excellency, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., and those agreed upon in the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council, DALEDAC. Our work in this session has been driven by a clear and compelling mission. Our focus, national security and economic transformation, which are key to improving the living condition for all Filipinos. This holistic approach underscores our commitment to safeguarding our nation while fostering economic growth and ensuring that every Filipino experiences a tangible improvement in their quality of life. Malinaw po ang misyon nating lahat. Kapayapaan sa buong bansa, seguridad sa mga komunidad, masiglang ekonomiya, maunlad na kabuhayan para sa lahat. I am pleased to say that as always, we were faithful in fulfilling our solemn obligation. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to highlight this chamber's most notable achievements and legislative milestones. The House of Representatives recognizes that sovereignty is a crucial element of independence, and any threat to the nation's sovereignty requires no less than prompt and deliberate action. To guarantee that we adopt a defensive position against any act of aggression or provocation, we have passed critical measures on sovereignty and defense to enhance our national defense capabilities. This ensures the protection of our sovereignty and the preservation of our territorial integrity. Our efforts include bolstering our nation's military capabilities and enhancing our diplomatic strategies to secure our interests in the region. As a result, we have approved on third and final reading and now on the Bicameral Conference Committee, House Bill number 9713, or the Philippines Self-Reliant Defense Posture Program Act. Legislative support has likewise been solidified for our continued fight against illegal drugs and criminal activities. By focusing on community-based treatment, rehabilitation, and integration, we approved House Bill number 8327, or the PNP Organizational Reform Act. Another equally crucial matter that requires our ongoing effort is the economic stability and growth of the nation. To sustain our impressive economic growth, we have enacted fiscal measures and created a stable economic environment conducive to long-term prosperity by ensuring improved revenue collections and prudent spending. To emphasize the importance of meeting revenue targets that will sustain economic growth, we have passed into law Republic Act number 11976, or the Ease of Paying Taxes Act. With this enactment, processes have been digitized, taxpayer registration has been streamlined, and tax base has been expanded, leading to a 17% rise in revenue collections this year. To further improve the investment climate in the country, we have approved Republic Act number 11954, or the Maharlika Investment Fund Act of 2023. This is a significant step towards attracting high-impact investments that will drive economic growth and create jobs for our people. I would also like to emphasize that the country's growing economy must be supported by excellent infrastructure development. This leads me to one of our top priorities, the Build Better More program. Our unwavering commitment to such a program helps secure funding and legislative support for numerous infrastructure projects, including the Unified National Grid, which aims to enhance connectivity and competitiveness across our archipelago. We have also advanced the DPWH NIA Convergence Plan, actually done today, and it integrates flood control efforts with broader water management strategies to ensure efficient use of our water resources. This initiative aims to enhance food security, support irrigation, manage water supply effectively, and by aligning the DPWH flood control programs with NIA's water conservation initiatives, we can better manage our resources to support multiple needs, including irrigation, water supply, and potentially power generation. This integrated approach will significantly contribute to our agricultural productivity, food security, and overall economic stability. I thank you all for your support in this measure. On housing, legislative actions have been taken to ensure the provision of over 1 million affordable housing units, giving every Filipino the opportunity to own a home and improve their living conditions. The overwhelming passage of House Bill number 10172, the National Housing Authority Act, further demonstrates this chamber's strong desire to serve the underprivileged, homeless, and low-income households. We also approved House Bill number 9506, or the Rental Housing Subsidy Program Act, which seeks to establish a rental housing subsidy program for informal settler families to further alleviate their plight. These measures are crucial in providing immediate relief and long-term housing stability to those in need. Hindi tayo titigil sa trabaho hanggat hindi natutupad ang pangarap ni Pangulong Marcos, ang mabigyan ng bahay ang bawat pamilyang Pilipino. We have also enacted laws aimed at enhancing the healthcare system and welfare of our citizens. Republic Act number 11959, or the Regional Specialty Centers Act, simplified healthcare services, ensuring that specialized medical care is accessible to regions outside Metro Manila. Republic Act number 11965, or the Caregivers Welfare Act, provides necessary protections and benefits to caregivers, recognizing their invaluable contribution to our society. We approved House Bill number 8461 to strengthen the National Health Program for senior citizens through a comprehensive nutrition and wellness program to prevent poor nutrition and related illnesses in the elderly. And House Bill number 7447 to strengthen local health boards by ensuring the representation of barangay health workers, whom we continue to recognize as essential frontliners in health promotion and advocacy. We have enacted Republic Act number 11984, or the No Permit, No Exam Prohibition Act, to ensure that financial constraints do not hinder our students' academic process. We have passed House Bill number 8210, or the Academic Recovery and Accessible Learning Act, or the ARAL Program Act, to address and resolve the gap between current and expected learning competencies. Furthermore, House Bill number 10142, or the Early Education Care for Children Development Act, aligns early childhood care and development services with maternal, child health, and nutrition programs aimed at nurturing our youngest citizens from the earliest stages of their development. Hindi lang natin tinitiyak ang libre at abot-kayang edukasyon para sa lahat. Sinisigurado rin natin na walang sagabal para makatapos ang mga estudyante natin sa kailangan ng pag-aaral nila. Employment opportunities and labor rights have been the focal point of our legislative agenda. Republic Act number 11962, or the Trabaho para sa Bayan Act, focuses on improving the employability and competitiveness of Filipino workers through upskilling and reskilling initiatives, as well as support for micro, small, medium enterprises and industry stakeholders. Matibay po ang ating paniniwala. Kailangan natin ang mga investments para makilikha ng mga trabaho at hindi basta lamang na trabaho. Trabaho na marangal at kayang bumuhay ng pamilya. Our social welfare initiatives are designed to uplift marginalized communities and ensure equitable access to resources. House Bill number 8463, or the Disaster Food Bank and Stockpile Act, provides for the establishment of disaster food banks and stockpiles throughout the country to speed up the country's recovery and relief good distribution during calamities. House Bill number 9506, or the Rental Housing Subsidy Program Act, seeks to establish a rental housing subsidy program for informal settler families to further alleviate their plight. These measures are crucial in providing immediate relief and long-term housing stability to those in need. House Bill number 9978, or the Moratorium on Payment of Student Loan Act, grants the postponement of the collection of student loans for a reasonable duration during the following and the occurrence of disasters and other emergencies. We have approved House Bill number 8456, or the Philippine Downstream Natural Gas Industry Development Act. This legislative action to increase the share of renewable energy in our power mix and promote sustainability reflects our commitment to address climate change and ensure a resilient future for our nation. House Bill number 9663, or the National Water Resources Act, provides for the establishment of the Department of Water Resource Management and enhances disaster preparedness measures, which are critical steps towards safeguarding our environment and ensuring sustainable development. All these legislative measures that we had approved are not merely words on paper. They embody our commitment to the welfare of every Filipino and reflect our dedication to creating a more just, prosperous, and dynamic society. As Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. As we conclude the second regular session of the 19th Congress, I must congratulate all of you for the achievements that I am sure will contribute to charting a prosperous path for our beloved nation. We have steadfastly focused on our legislative works and ensured that our efforts align with the needs and aspirations of the Filipino people. Let us carry with us the understanding that our work is not just a responsibility, but a noble privilege, a chance to uplift our fellow Filipinos, leave a lasting imprint on our society, and pave the way for a more prosperous tomorrow. I am deeply grateful to every member of the House, our tireless Secretariat, headed by our reliable Secretary General, and Sergeant-at-Arms, and our devoted congressional staff. Your dedicated efforts have always been one of the keys to our success. Special thanks go to our esteemed Senior Deputy Speaker and our Deputy Speakers, our resolute Majority Leader, accompanied by his ever-reliable Senior Deputy and assistant majority leaders, our hardworking counterparts in the minority, led by the equally diligent minority leader, and our dedicated committee chairpersons. We also recognize the invaluable contributions of the contractual employees, janitorial services, and security personnel, most especially the media, our partner in disseminating legislative information to the people. We sincerely appreciate your commendable work. While we have achieved significant milestones, our journey is far from over. Let us march forward with a renewed sense of purpose, fortified by courage and unwavering determination, poised to confront the trials that lie ahead. Thank you, and I urge that we all continue to serve our beloved nation with dignity and integrity. Together, united in our resolve, let us build a better future for all. Damo nga salamat, hayungan at tanan, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay po kayong lahat. Mr. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, for second time in a row, we did our homework, finished our assignment. The House of the People delivered 100%. We passed 100% of the priority legislative measures. Mr. Speaker, mission is accomplished. Mr. Speaker, I move to adjourn sine die the second regular session of the 19th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The second regular session of the 19th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines is adjourned sine die.
Alamin natin ang mga programa at aktibidades ng mga kinatawan sa pamumuno ni Speaker Ferdinand Martin FMR Romualdez, Kamara, House of the People. Tuwing Sabado at replays, tuwing Linggo, dito lang sa inyong favorite music radio.